All right, this one is, this story is actually talking about electricity now. Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, reported that electricity distribution companies, that's DisCos, have received 291,380 complaints in the first quarter of this year alone, 2024, and this marks a 19.12% decrease from 360,145 complaints from the fourth quarter of last year. And the complaints were related to billing. Now, this is what Nigerians are complaining about: billing. That's, we had about 45% complaints about billing. We had about 12% complaints on metering, and then we had service interruptions of about 11.95% complaints. And NERC, so let's look at what they are complaining about: billing, metering, and other issues now. NERC's report highlighted that 95.52% of the complaints, or 278,312 cases, were resolved during the quarter. The Commission stressed its commitment to monitoring DisCos performance and ensuring consumer satisfaction, including hosting town hall meetings in Kano and Lagos to address concerns that are related to tariff metering and customer redress mechanisms. Okay, so now looking at the problem and looking at this, what they said about the response to these complaints, I'd like to get your balanced analysis on that one.
I wish they can bring it to Port Harcourt so that we can have a town hall. Because me too, I have a complaint.
Oh, what would your complaint fall under this time?
Billing darkness. You're billing people that have been kept in the dark to pay bills. What are they paying for? For the darkness? When does that? How come darkness? When does it become light? So the reality is that I appreciate what the is it the PSCN?
The NERC, their report on the DisCos performance or activities this year. So are you saying that in your area you've not had power?
With power in our area, they are opposites.
What area is that?
I won't want to disclose it.
You don't want solution?
No,
because if you want solution,
want to disclose my
the
area personally on air. But the fact is that the power holding company should look at building communication with the people, not only when they want to come and collect bills.
But how much have the people done concerning that situation?
The people are doing their best, because the last time, for example, in my area, when they stole some things in the transformer, they keep stealing things in our transformer. Cable wires.
Individuals now.
Yeah, we don't know who these people are that keep stealing. And an entire community is in the dark. And the last time it happened, we contributed money to buy those things that were stolen. And now it has happened again, and they're asking the people to contribute another money to buy what is stolen. So the question is, what happens next when it is stolen again? Because it is like a reoccurring, it's a pattern that is now happening. The power company or the power distributors or the DisCos need to understand that relationship with the people is very important. A lot of people have lost faith and anything that has to do with any public sector. They have lost faith. And let's look at our energy generation, or in terms of generating energy. We need to take a step ahead to get more. How many dams? We're talking about dams. Tap into more renewable sources of energy. The government can do that. We have sun, abundant sun. We have wind. We have a lot of rivers. So, River State, as a state, for example, can generate enough energy that can take care of the energy needs of the people in the states. So we have to look at it, legislations that will help to ensure that all the bottlenecks that is hampering or hindering this energy is dealt with. We should we should be an energy sufficient country. We should be energy sufficient. We should generate energy that can take care of our needs.
So the people have not seen power, right? But they have been paying the bills. But these guys, the DisCos now, they are aware that your area have not seen power, but they've been coming for bills.
They do come for bills.
And the people have been paying
I don't know if the people are paying them.
But you're not paying.
I can't pay that for darkness. That's why I'm telling you that light and darkness, these two things,
they have nothing in common.
They have nothing in common. And many, you see, do you know why many Nigerians are frustrated? You can't afford to pay your transportation fare because of the costs. When you struggle to get back home, there is heat because there's no power. When you now decide to open your door, a criminal is entering your house to steal the little you have. When you now say, okay, the house is not safe, you want to go on the streets. On the street, some other person is waiting to do pickpocket or steal for you. So the entire system is bad. But we should keep hope alive. Why? If you lose hope, you lose everything. If you allow the problems to touch you, it will affect your thinking. You have to keep hope alive.
You were talking about the DisCos building a relationship with the people. I'd like to get more in that.
Yes, the DisCos should build a relationship with the people. Because now we're talking about complaints, and they're talking about hundreds of thousands of cases of complaints. And a bulk of that is from people that are billing.
Yes.
They are being billed to pay light bills when they are not seeing light. So there should be a continuous communication with the people. If there is something that is faulty, maybe a transformer or a distribution problem or energy generation problem, the people should be informed. There should be a kind of communication with the people. The people should not only wait, it's not only when they want to cut wire somewhere. That's when you see a power official appear. Only the time you see them when they want to cut you with a ladder, you know that they are here to cut or you pay or cut.
So you expect them to visit even when they're not coming to...
They don't necessarily need to visit. There should be town halls. There should be some avenues of communicating with the people. Could be through text message, could be through town hall meetings, it could be through anywhere. There are many channels of communication, even through social media, through WhatsApp group. Anyhow they want to communicate that is easy for them. But there should be that communication with the people. Not only when they want to cut wire, and you see them appear from nowhere, they are cutting wire or with ladder, or they want to collect NEPA bills for power. So that should be this human connection with the people.
How do we make this sector more competitive? As if we have a private sector, usually if there's so much competition, we will not have the consumer begging the owners of the company to communicate with them. In fact, as a consumer, you get tired of text messages that will be flooding your phone. So if they are acting a certain way, do you think it has anything to do with lack of competition in the business?
A bit of it, but not entirely about lack of competition, because even if you have more people in, if they are all working together as a team, it's what they agree on that they will do, right? So it's about taking off the corrupt practices that that is impacting on virtually all the sectors of our economy. So it's not so much about competition, it's so much about the practices. So if you take off those corrupt practices among those distribution companies, and there is efficient distribution, efficient billing, efficiency in the system, you will have improved service delivery for the people. And customer satisfaction will be a priority to those distributors, not just the money they are going to collect. And accountability with what they are generating. Accountability. So all that, these are steps that can be taken to help enhance customer satisfaction.
How do we completely, how do we carry out this overhauling you're talking about? Taking away the corrupt practices and corrupt individuals from these different sectors in Nigeria.
It will be difficult.
How easy would that be?
But you start somewhere. You don't get to university in a day. You start from the nursery, kindergarten, to primary, to secondary, to the university. Step by step. You start somewhere. The worst thing that can happen to a man is to do nothing. That's why there's a quote I wrote. I said, the do nothing class complain about everything and do nothing about everything. So if we want to, we're looking at solution, right? This is a solution-based analysis. In a solution-based analysis, you identify the problem and you look at for possible solutions that can match the problems. Now, you cannot solve the entire problems in a day, but you start somewhere to get somewhere. The worst thing that can happen to you is doing nothing about it. If a house is on fire, as an example, your house is on fire. Now, that's a problematic situation. In solution-based analysis, the first thing you ask yourself, what can I do? If the first thing is for you to escape so that you don't get burnt or you don't lose your life, that's the first thing to do. The worst thing you can do is to remain in the fire thinking. You don't stay in the house that is on fire to be thinking of what to do. It's to save yourself first. And the next thing is, what possible solutions can we apply to quench this fire and save this building? Then you start taking steps. So looking at the power distribution and the power generation or PHCN or power distribution companies, the problem of corrupt practices cannot be addressed in a day until you take the first step, identify the problem, and look for possible solutions. And you cannot achieve it in a day.
All right, and you've talked about one of the solutions besides overhauling the system and taking away corrupt practices. You've talked about consumer and relationship with the consumer,
yes,
to get feedback on what exactly is going on. But do you think that, don't you think a lot of times these people are aware of what is going on in these our societies or in these communities?
Being aware is not enough. It's what you do with your knowledge or the information. It's just like, information can be like a medication. Now, a doctor will prescribe some drugs for you to take if you have malaria, if you're suffering from malaria. The doctor's prescription is not enough. You can have it on your hands. You can have it in your hands. But it's not enough. What you do with that prescription is for you to go and buy the drugs. Take it as instructed. So being aware is not enough. That's why there are many people who are knowledgeable, yet their life is scattered because they have the head knowledge. They don't have the action. They are not activating the knowledge they have. You act the knowledge. Knowledge is action. And knowledge produces result when it is acted on. It's not enough to have all the knowledge, the degrees. Your head is filled with all the knowledge in the world, yet you're not acting out anything. So you can apply it to your individual life. You can have all the knowledge, but what you act is what reveals what you know. I can tell you that I have a knowledge of 1,000,000 page, a knowledge that can fill a drum. You just be looking at me. It is when you act it out that it can produce results. If you don't act what you know, it means you don't know anything. Because knowing alone is not enough. Knowing is the first step. The second step is act it out. Let it produce result. Let it cause a change. So don't just be carrying knowledge. You are an encyclopedia of knowledge without action.